Greetings and salutations!
No disclaimer? How are the many kids littered in the OSC meant to be deterred from jumping off cliffs in real life now? Now, don't get me wrong, this new art style is really nice, what with blending the janky look of early season 1 with a loose hand-drawn feel to it. But isn't the really poor visual quality of early season 1 tied to the lore? Even if it looks simplistic compared to the end of season 2, it doesn't exactly make everyone look, and I quote, lifeless and static.
Greetings and salutations!
Oh, what? Where's the crisp and clean? Even if you couldn't get them on board to voice act again, you could have done an impression or something. No way you get copyrighted for a caricature of a fictional person. You know what they didn't change though? Using stock Kevin MacLeod music, like sheesh. At least you avoided using New Friendly specifically. Mephone, if you keep violently shaking your arms like that, you might seriously injure yourself.
I am your host, MePhone4.
Oh, also, yeah, discount iPhone 4. Lightbulb is definitely floating in the air in this shot. And so is Paper, because they're definitely not standing on Taco's shell. I refuse to believe that. That part is vertical. Also, call it too much of a nitpick, but why does Pepper nor presumably Salt have shines on their casing? Everyone else made of glass or metal or clear plastic is reflective. Okay, call this one even more of a nitpick, but OJ's shine should have been more subtle, like balloon, nickel, or bombs. It's too glaringly bright when it's made white. Do I know you?
A show where these 15 objects compete for $1 million!
You could have at least left the trend of 90% of object shows just having an arbitrary cash prize for the winner back in the 2010s. Wishes are now the new object show prize meta. This is just the season 1 intro with the formatting of season 2's intro. At least there's a little bit more movement now, but the explosion in the intro being replaced with just a shockwave makes me feel disappointed as the person who overuses explosions sometimes. That is just the Total Drama Islands logo font, and you'd think they would have changed it if they bothered retconning the Chris McLean voice. Okay, not to dwell on real drama, and I totally understand the decision with how rare the internet can be with guilt-fire association with someone being even labelled problematic regardless of its validity. But man, does Justin being gone leave a hole?
Okay, so the first challenge will be—
I'm sorry, I just—
Apology accepted from me for the rude interruption. However, my sync counter is unfortunately quick to hold grudges it will never drop. Nicholas moved in front of Balloon instantaneously between shots.
I'm sorry, I just— Is that how you actually sound?
Yeah, isn't it professional?
I mean, I don't really mind it. Also, if MePhone literally made everyone, how did he manage to manufacture all of them to dislike the generic host voice?
No, it sounds like crap!
Wow. Really testing YouTube's demonetization with that one, huh? What you could get away with in 2011 absolutely does not translate to 2025.
It sounds like crap!
And now these 14 contestants—
MePhone 4 is a fragile ego.
So we're stuck with the voice then?
Fine, I'm willing to change it, but only if you're willing to face the consequences!
Said consequences are never explained nor directly revealed. Personally, I headcanon the second voice is the consequence.
We'll take a vote.
Sour cream!
The ayes have it.
Only one eye passes the vote cliche.
Sour cream!
Sour cream. Also, of all the things you redubbed, sour cream is the one thing you keep the original recording of. The voice changer app's single boolean toggle implies that there's only 2 voices to select from, but there's actually 3.
There! I can't imagine any problem with this!
Disregarding my headcanon, MePhone thinks this voice is an improvement. Blunt impacts to phones does not cause a brief static on their screen. You'd maybe get a very brief distortion of color around the impact spot at worst, but that's usually when it's impacted directly on the screen, not the back of the phone. MePhone's arm shoots all the way across his screen. See, I told you it would get dislocated. Blunt impacts not localized on the screen doesn't cause apps to close either. Actually, how do you even open any apps in the first place? You don't have any on-screen buttons. Is it a subconscious thing? You'd think Cobbs would add some means of controlling their own creations directly.
You might just be, because in this challenge I brainstormed just 5 seconds ago, you'll be jumping off this 60-foot cliff.
Given we can see MePhone doesn't teleport everyone or generate anything, it's safe to assume that you've been here longer than the 5 seconds you had the challenge in mind. So aside from the fact that we should have been able to see this cliff earlier, this either means you have been next to a cliff for minutes at least and only just came up with the idea of having the challenge to literally just jump off it, or had been traveling on foot to a cliff, which is a massive hazard for literally no reason.
This should be easy.
What about that is easy?
All that's been said to do is jump off the cliff. Surviving the fall is not even listed as a requirement yet, so all you gotta do is just not be too scared to do it. Sounds pretty easy to me. Well, about as easy as it is for an anthropomorphic inanimate object to do so anyway.
You must land into the safe zone filled with clean spring water.
Water is not actually capable of breaking one's fall, and a 60-foot fall is generally regarded as guaranteed to kill someone, so yeah, anyone attempting this sure will be committing to death.
Because if you don't, you will never land.
Oh, really? You keep the C word in, but not the elephant feces. I don't know about the general public, but I think the former is more obscene than the latter, especially in a cartoon. You know how much cartoons love making toilet humor after all. Not exactly a 60-foot cliff if there's literally a bottomless pit down it.
Wow, that is one crappy cliff.
Roll credits. Also, more swearing. Nice continuity to Season 2 Episode 12, but Lightbulb wasn't in that shot. Don't suppose we'll get a Season 2 remaster anytime soon.
Well, actually, I had a question about...
Rude interruption, and this time there's not even an apology for it.
Don't worry guys, I have loads of experience in jumping off cliffs.
Having experience in jumping off cliffs sounds real concerning. Oh, Pickle's doing okay. That being said, weren't you literally created as an actually only having started existed like shortly before the events of this episode? Have you literally done nothing but jump off cliffs before the show started? Yeah, I don't think he's good. Self-proclaimed expert proceeds to perform awfully cliche.
Pickle is out in 3 seconds. That's just sad. Start!
Don't worry guys, I have loads of experience in jumping off cliffs.
This challenge is mine.
You can tell Benjamin is trying way too hard to get the exact same tone of voice Balloon had in the original down to the pitch of every single syllable, and it sounds as false as that description implies.
This is not good!
This is not good. Oh crap!
Even more swearing, not even the original said it 3 times. Risking an age restriction there, Adam! By the way, my quibbles about Balloon not letting the air escape him every time he vocalizes never got answered.
But we are BCFFs! We have to be together! You're right! Let's continue to be codependent!
Wait, so didn't... But she never... You can't just rewrite history like this! Also, best condiment friends forever as if it's totally different to standard BFFs. Oh, also, going back to the connection to Season 2 Episode 12, if you're going to include a tie to that episode, there should be a reanimate of that part with Season 2 Lightbulb interferes with Salt and Pepper's jumps. I don't know, make it a post-credit scene where the unused footage gets leaked or something. At least don't make us wait until Season 2 Episode 12's remaster if it even happens.
Marshmallow's failure to use gravity correctly eliminates herself, so keep going.
Seriously, why was she just given the involuntary power to defy gravity? Why is that just something Mifo made her capable of? Marshmallows don't exactly do that, and it's not like it's just because they're light, because honestly they're really not that light. Larger ones even outweigh nickels and sheets of paper.
Wait, Taco! Don't do it! No! Ugh, thanks a lot, Taco. It's your fault Lightbulb won!
You make it sound like Taco was trying to intentionally get Lightbulb to win by kicking them, even though you literally immediately afterwards demonstrate it's easier to sabotage everyone by doing it. I mean, it's better than having half the cars do nothing for over an hour, but you're telling me none of them could have defended themselves? Also, aren't Nickel and Baseball friends? Even regarding there only being one more spot to win, you'd think he'd at least not sabotage his friend. What a jerk. More so than Knife. Paper should not be falling as fast as everyone else is.
Okay.
How's this?
If this is Miphone's default voice, why is it labeled like it's the on state for the voice changer? And yeah, the toggle resets between voice changers.
How's this?
I like the other one.
You did not hear that from there. It does not take over 20 minutes for a balloon to fall less than 60 feet. It's probably much less than 60 feet by that point too. Also at that speed, Balloon should have been drifted away from the spring water by the same force that threw Marshmallow into the pit. 2 time cards within 3 seconds of each other. Balloons are too buoyant to sink in water.
They can pick the teams.
Alright!
But next episode.
What?
Yeah, you heard correctly. Next episode.
Oh, come on!
So impatient, sheesh. It's not like in universe these episodes are only done weeks or months between each other. Or years if you're the second half of season 2. If this is a bottomless pit, then is the spring water being held by a platform suspended in the air? Because otherwise it should still be in view at this angle. Realistically, the cliff should as well, otherwise at some point the overhang would have crumbled off because of it being too big of an overhang. See, I'm finally putting my GCSE in geography to use. Pickle, close your mouth. I might not know if insects exist in this world, but nothing is confirmed that they don't, and giving back its existence is more likely than you think, so you might swallow one. OJ's orange juice isn't spilling out this angle.
I mean, like, I could kill all of us if that's battle.
Sour cream!
I have it.
Reused jokes. Also recycled lines in the same episode.
Sour cream!
Also sour cream. So, what would theoretically happen had everyone not died and they just kept falling? Would Mifo not be able to get them back because they're technically not dead and teleportation just isn't a thing yet? Would the series just have gone cancelled right then and there? Possibly remade with a new cast? Is this how Inanimate Insanity Infinity happens in this version of Season 1? So, everyone was just okay with Mifo literally throwing Book Casey into the void.
Please stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.
Wait, no post-credits scene either? Oh, boo. And yeah, I know it's because they moved what was the post-credits scene to before the credits, but that literally makes it not a post-credits scene anymore, so I can still ask for one. Where's the stupid trailer remaster, by the way? The stupid trailer is canon according to Season 2 Episode 18, so where is it, Animation? Also, you're releasing Episode 2 on the show's anniversary? That feels really out of place.
I'm gonna have a breakdown.